Live. I'm your host, Dulcie Hill, and I have now got to share on. All right, okay, I think I've got it. Hang on. All right. Okay, welcome to MS Live. I'm your host, Dulcie Hill, and there we go. There we go. All right. I have been doing a lot of thinking, which is a problem. It's a problem. It's a problem when I start thinking uh, bad things happen because I end up putting more on my plate than I actually do. And I gotta stop that. You know. First of all, I want to talk about inflammation and things we can do to battle this inflammation. Uh, Skin infections. A lot of us are on medications that allow bugs like funguses or infections to grow. Hi, summer lady. But there's there's products, there's things that we need to share with each other that is really good for our skin, is will prevent a lot of the side effects that we have. For instance, I'll let you know. Many of you notice I'm not wearing my wedding band or my engagement ring because right here uh, I developed. I believe it was a fungus. It was something underneath of my ring that caused so much problem that I can't wear the ring. Desinide is a antifungal cream that the dermatologist gave me, and I'm supposed to put it on 3 times a day. Uh, Also, many of you noticed that I had, or some of you, actually none of you know, I had almost like a tumor. It was infection uh, that deep down, and my fallback on infection is if it offends you, pluck it out, remove it, operate. I'm not afraid of operating, but the problem is that a lot of times when we operate and we try to cut something out that's not there, we create scar tissue. It's a bad thing. So what do we have to do? What do we have to do? We just have to get whole with the idea that there are products out there. There are things that we can do to make us healthy, to make us look good. I mean, this year is all smoke and mirrors. In fact, it's so much smoke and mirrors. The older I get, uh, I'm known as the disabled diva. So I'm thinking about launching a new channel to show you how much anybody can look cute if they have the right makeup and they work with themselves. I used to, in fact, many of you saw, I used to part my hair on this side, right? On this side. Well, I guess I started sleeping on that side and it started thinning right there. So and I'm a bang wearer. I always wore bangs, right? Because I guess what I had to do. You can't beat things pushing at you. You can't if you can't wear zip up jeans. There are ways that you can dress beautifully. Uh, Disabled ones, smoke and mirrors, everyone. Smoke and mirrors. How do you look good, right? What I did is because I was thinning here, and I can't fight nature, right? Nobody gets out alive looking like a supermodel, except for supermodels who end up imploding. So what I wanted to say is that easy, I just started parting it. this way and just going with it. And you know what's great is that when I'm done swimming, I put my hair. It was wet. Brian picked me up. I put my hair in a wet bun on my head, there's so many turns and stuff and rubber band that when I take it out, all of a sudden I've got what everybody is trying to do. You know, they try to roll their hair to make it look, kind of kinky and stuff. There are just let God accentuate your beauty, right? It just, I've got so much more wrong with me than you guys give me credit for. And I'll tell you what, it's all getting out and making it look like a parade, right? Hi, Sarah. You know what? I'm going to launch a new. Uh, I'm not allowed to say that. I will. I'm not allowed to say that. I'm not allowed to tell you what I'm about to do until I do it, right? Because I've always, that's me. That's me. I overpromise. I'm like Ted Turner. I have so many ideas. And hi, John. It's good to see you. I'm glad you're with us this morning. But hi, Crystal. It just, how do you look good, feel good when you don't feel like this morning, feel like getting out of bed this morning? We live in Maryland. We have heat. But my husband likes it cold. So I'm in bed at night. He turns off the heat. I'm in bed this morning at 8 o'clock. I'm trying to get out of bed, but it's so cold. So I needed to put a hat on. I asked him to get a coat. I don't want to get out of bed when it's that cold. I just, I don't want to do that. So I'm thinking, how can we just make the most of what God gives us without looking like a frump, right? Because disabled people, what do? We like to put on something comfy, fleece pants for me. I put on fleece pants because my legs get cold. And do we look presentable when we go out? Do we look like a broken? It's one thing to look like a visible, right? Because you're leaning over your walker, you're trying to walk, and people are like, oh yeah, yeah, she's crippled or he's crippled. But it's another thing to just throw on some makeup, throw on a pretty sweater, uh, um, throw on a kilt, take off your fleece, just put on a nice sweater. For those of you guys out there, just, men don't have to do the smoke and mirrors thing, but you guys, if you can get clean, even if you have a bidet, if you just clean all the spots, put on a beautiful shirt, and just, you know, ba- yeah. No, you know what? And even in the cold, there's long sleeve t-shirts for you guys. There is a long sleeve collared t-shirt. Uh, there is ways. Hi, Betty. There is ways to look like you're about to. What was Carly Simon's song? You're so vain. Hi, Stephanie. He walked on. He walked into the room like walking onto a yacht. So let's make the world our yacht, regardless of how we are feeling. Oh my God, we don't feel good. Just because you don't feel good doesn't mean you can't look good. It's all smoke and mirrors. So let's, just for today, I'm going to make my body presentable. Yeah, bidet. I'll tell you what, anybody's watching this and has MS. In fact, anybody who's watching this, get on Amazon and get a bidet because I'll tell you what, you gotta have a bidet. You know, you gotta. Bidets. Oh my gosh, I can't believe that there was a time in my life that I didn't have one. Uh, All right, Will, you wear basketball shorts all the time, and they have what's good is they have that basketball shorts have the elastic waistline that that you can put on. But again, the problem is in society right now. Uh, the moral compass of what is appropriate to wear outside our house has just fallen apart. Now it's okay to wear fleece pajamas if you go to Walmart. It's okay to not go to the. I'm going to the gym. I'm not going to put on lipstick. It's true. You don't have to. You don't. And because I get I smoke and mirrors. I put on my eyeshadow, my mascara. I do all this stuff. Um, let me see if I can get that. I do all this stuff. So then I think, when there's days I don't. I go to the gym. I'm not wearing makeup. But you know what? This is something that I've been doing the last 2 weeks. Just because uh, I'm not doing the MS Live doesn't mean that I can't promote myself or go out in the world looking okay. I washed my face this morning and I took the combination of sunscreen, tinted sunscreen, primer. I did a combination and I put it all over my face. I've been doing that every day because this stuff is supposed to prevent you from getting more wrinkles. These get out, make it a parade. And you know what? I put that on a little. I put on my eyebrow, a little mascara, lipstick, and I'm sorry, I'm looking at myself right here. In fact, I need to look. I can't look at myself because I'm looking at my side, but looking at the camera, I need to look. So, you know, do I have to? Why is it a hassle to put on makeup? Why is it a hassle to put on a nice shirt? Why? Why? Hi, Yasmin. It's why it can't be a hassle. It's got to be basic. It's got to be part of the process. Uh, Showing up dressed and ready to go. Doesn't matter whether you feel like you're ready to go. Let's start with going into bed, washing our face, using the day. I saw somebody explain wash your sweet spots, wash all of that, and go in and wear get a lot of cotton turtlenecks and wear it underneath both of your pretty shirts, so that you can wash the turtleneck and that shirt doesn't have to be washed all the time. You see this here? I'm wearing a long sleeve fleece underneath of my sweater, right? Because it's a pretty sweater, and these sweaters aren't made like they used to be. They're all they're only made to sustain a number of washes. So you have to be very careful how you wash your clothes, how you dry your clothes, and whether you're using it to you have a Toto. I don't know what a Toto is. Um, Chung is talking about Toto. By the way, for everybody who's watching this who have problems getting to the bathroom, uh, and you're on limited income, that's what Habitat for Humanity does. If you have an office nearby and you own your house, give them a call and ask, is there anything you can do? I'm disabled. I can't afford to have it retrofitted my bathroom. Is there anything you can do? The Habitat for Humanity makes ramps to get into your house. Uh, just call them for the solution. I gotta know what a Toto is. I get that. All right, Toto toilet. It's a toilet. It's a special toilet. A Toto is a special. All right. It jumped. All right, Toto. All right, ADA. Get the. Or it's height and comfort. I like that because let me tell you something. I go over to my Japanese. Well, I it's a Japanese toilet, but I go over to my brother's house and he's got a one of these $1 million condos or townhouses. It's townhouse, beautiful, beautiful house. But when I go there, their powder room is they have a low profile toilet. They also have a seat that likes to close on it, the pretty seat likes to close. So when you go in with your walker into his house and you're trying to get to the bathroom, you got to drop on that toilet before the top goes down, right? There's no handrail. It's a scary thing. It's a scary thing. These modern day toilets are for deep squats, deep knee squats, but they're not for old people or people with disabilities. So anyway, so how do we get out and make it a parade, right? Put on your nice shirt, look at pull on men. There's pants that you can pull on that is elastic waist that look almost like dress pants. We women have yoga pants. So is there a way that you can do that? Uh, I'll tell you what. Remember there was that song in the '80s. I like my candy wrapped up in a sweater. It's men wrapped up in sweaters are cool. So wear a undershirt, right? Because you guys have to wear undershirts under anything, right? So wear an undershirt and a nice outfit. Do just it's all smoke and mirrors, right? Defy your MRI. Uh, be a diva. Be just got everybody needs to just needs to get out and look. I mean, disabled diva. I walk in and into the gym and there people are happy to see me. And I laugh because it's how important is anything? So I wanted to move on to two things I wanted to talk about today. One is colloidal silver, Duncan and shell because it's washed out. But what I'm going to say is colloidal silver, you can either make it or you can buy it. And what it is that it's micro sized bits of silver mixed with distilled water. When you spray it on your face, it's a antibiotic. It's an antifungal. It has reduced the scar I had right there from operation. I talked about I have this ring funk. It's the colloidal silver. It reduces inflammation. It kills fungal, bacterial, and viral. It's fantastic. So if you can get some colloidal silver, get a small in a spray bottle and keep it with you. Spray your hands, right? Because it is wonderful. It is, talk about smoke and mirrors. So you don't feel like fixing your hair. All right, you don't, your colloidal silver. It's great stuff. Meanwhile, the Lauren, who is my physical therapist, who specialized in MS and gave me all sorts of great exercises for MS, she left the practice. Oh, and she's so good. So we're talking about uh, joining together to let you guys know of exercises you can do to keep you in the game. I'll tell you, I went over to the gym the other day and I saw Lisa. Lisa is somebody in the county that had MS for a long time. I When I met her probably 15 years ago at the gym, she was in bad shape, right? She just looked like she was tired of life, which I was a lot more able to move around. I was much healthier than her. She was visible. I was quasi visible, but I had so much more energy. Okay, what I will say is that I would walk up to her and do things for her. So yesterday I went, not yesterday, before yesterday, I went into the gym and there's Lisa, and you know what? I'm worse off than she is. Now I was getting in the therapy pool where Lauren said she was going to join us. She will join us. But I was getting in the therapy pool, and I said to Lisa, "You need to join us, right?" Remember the toe lifts that I wanted to show you? This here is a TENS unit, right? If you have a TENS unit, you can bypass. A lot of us are disabled because we have lesions on our spine, and the our bladder doesn't get the message in time to make it to the bathroom. Our brain's telling our leg to lift, and 5 minutes later, our leg gets the message, and we happen to be. It, Yasmin, you can do yoga on YouTube. There's free yoga videos. Um, so I want to get everybody into thinking because income is so limited. I want everybody to think and bring up the fact of things you need and things you can get for free. Because, I've had so many people saying, you know what, I live extremely modestly. So I've had so many people say, you need to monetize this. You need to monetize MS Live or MS Frontiers. I've been building it now for probably 18 years. Do I need to monetize it? I say I can't. I can't because, like you, I've been given a disease. It's supposed to make me better. The only way it makes me better is if I use what is not unique. It's not unique for me to have MS. It's the same. We, with MS, are brothers and sisters. We have a duty to one another that supersedes us having heat in the house or having income or you know this all supersedes it. I have a duty. You guys are not going to pay me a dime. In fact, there was a situation where I've got to make some income because we're, basically we're on the Titanic. Everybody's on the Titanic. Everybody, but I have to make some income, and I will not. I won't do it through MS Live or MS Frontiers, the website. I can't do it. I don't mind promoting things that you have to make sure that you're financially secure. I'd rather, I don't want to charge for this because it's my timing to God. If all things work together for good, according to those called according to purpose, if each one of us was made perfect because we have MS, we're perfect with the disease, then it's teaching us to be like James 4:14, part of the myth. We have a responsibility to each other to help do things easy and fun and encouraging and just, you know, colloidal silver, the shortcuts that we can use. Let me tell you, I sat down with Lisa and I asked her, what is your biggest symptom right now that you're having a rough time overcoming? Uh, and she said fatigue, exhaustion. She can't get out of bed without taking a Provigil first thing in the morning. So I got to thinking, Provigil, that's what she's on, right? There's Nuvigil, there is Ritalin, methylphenidate, there's all this stuff. Well, we have fatigue sometimes so bad that watching uh, paint on the wall dry takes too much energy, right? It's and that is you see a lot of my problem, and then I promise I'm writing a book. I am, believe it, I'm still writing that book, updating the website, just the amount of effort it takes. Hi, Liz, to just to do things is, we've got to make it easier. So Lisa was saying that she has to take a Provigil when she gets out of bed, and she choreographs her day with knowing that the Provigil is going to work for about 4 hours. So 4 hours. So those first 4 hours in the morning, she's a morning person. I'm not. I like. It takes me a long time to get excited about going to bed, and it takes a long time for me to be excited to be awake. So I took her advice, not advice. I heard what she said, and I decided to take half a methylphenidate or Ritalin. It's generic Ritalin, uh, half of that, and it's good. Is it giving me copious amount of energy? No, but it's lifting the haze just a bit. And I'll talk about medical marijuana a little bit in that so much. Uh, Liz, it's so good to see you. Got died this morning. Well, thank you for coming, Liz. Because I really, good morning, Vanessa. Valentine's Day. I don't know. So, this year, all right, how does it work? Let's see. I had. I'm gonna have to do a separate video on just get it all set up because doing this over the next hour, half an hour, it just doesn't make sense. So there is. I'll show you. In fact, Lauren, she wants to do some of these videos, so I'd like to do her personal, her training videos to help rehab people with MS. She just has a desire to be part of the problem or part of the solution. All right. So, first rule of thumb is to get energy. Whether you get energy from medical marijuana, whether you get it from Provigil, Nuvigil, Ritalin, caffeine pills, caffeine drinks, wherever you get energy, if you can do that, and then get out of bed and make a schedule. Go in to the bathroom, wash your face, if you can't get in the shower, call Habitat for Humanity and find out what they can do. Let's make ourselves presentable. Let's go in and get a t-shirt or a long sleeve undershirt and put on a pretty outfit. Change your earrings. For those of us with pierced ears, I think the worst thing, in my opinion, being a diva, that anybody can do is walk around with holes in their ears and not put on earrings. God, you know what? You had to have those holes put in your head, right? I had to. If you got holes in your head, it's meant to put on pretty earrings. I'm wearing this, no ring on this because I'm doing the colloidal silver, but it's the colloidal silver is anti-inflammatory. If you wash your face in the morning or even in the morning and at night, the first thing you should do when you're done washing your face is spray colloidal silver. Antifungal, anti-inflammatory. It will reduce the inflammation. Spray it on your face and on your hand. It's a good thing, right? It's really a good thing to have. So do that. For you girls, we need to put on a sunscreen and a moisturizer. I've just got tons of stuff. You boys, you need a sunscreen, right? Vitamin C is supposed to help renew. I've got so many tricks, but it's all, remind you, it's all smoke and mirrors. It's all smoke and mirrors. How can we worship God by presenting our bodies, which are a gift from God, in the best light, and just love on each other, be part of the mist. How do we do that? Right? How do we do that when we don't even feel like getting out of bed? It was 60 degrees. I said to my husband, "You gonna help me get out of bed? Get my long coat, bring me a hat." And this morning I was walking home with a hat. I don't know. But anyway, this STEM unit, or what it is, what I'm going to show you, is that you put these units on, let's see, 2 units on a muscle. And what it does is when you turn up the stimulation, it gets that muscle to contract. It bypasses our spine, all the damage, and it uses the nerve to raise up your toes. It's bizarre. It is bizarre. And Lauren, my physical therapist, when I went and saw her before she left the practice, she said, uh, what they showed is that your nervous system isn't garbage. You may have a blockade, kind of like the Canadian truckers on the bridge. We have blockades. That the what is it? The bridge. Think of the bridge as the spine, right? Well, those Canadian truckers had so many things on it, like my car parts that I haven't had my car in forever. Um, what can we do if there's somebody who can pull up to the bridge and take the stuff off of a truck and bring it over? It's a way to bypass that spine, that cervical spine. You've got to bypass it. is your foot? I'm looking at Lisa. I'm looking down at her, and her foot is modeled. Combination of the cherry white. I mean, it to people looking at it, it's very upsetting, right? It's very upsetting, and you know what I'm talking about. That's when you've been sitting on a hard chair for a while, and you look down, and your feet are purple, and your leg is like a dead man. You've got no color, but you know what is great about Lisa? She her toenails are painted a bright orange, and that is the humor you and I need to do. If we're going to have modeled purple legs, let's accentuate it because you know what? That made her special. And there was somebody walked up when Lisa was sitting there and said, I had modeled legs, but not like Lisa's because she had a harder chair she was sitting on, and I had a hammock chair. And I looked, hi, Sylvie. So I looked at her, and one of our mutual friends without MS walked up to her and said, "Oh my gosh, what's going on with your leg?" Because it is upsetting to other people when they see your leg is basically that of a dead person, right? What's happening with your leg? And I'm sitting there, I'm thinking, it doesn't hurt her, right? It doesn't hurt. Is it cold? She's like, no. I said, you know what we're supposed to do to keep from upsetting people is when we sit down, we're supposed to elevate our feet. You know, you just can't, it's all smoke and mirrors. And then again, you can't be insulted without your permission. In order to be offended, you have to physically take offense. I can't believe the emails I've heard from you guys over the years, and I don't think I see the public over the years, and I get these just loving, kind messages from you guys. I hope this doesn't offend you. Let me tell you something. I can't be offended because no one knows me like God does. Who really knows you? Do your kids know you? Do your mother, parents, spouse? Does anybody really know what motivates you? Uh, so how can anybody look at Lisa, and I'm just saying at that purple leg with the bright orange toenails, how can they look at her and judge her character by this obvious infliction? So even if somebody walked up and said, you know what, you suck. There's a woman at the gym, right? And she's a little older than me, and she works out. She works out like it matters to her, but she's one of these mean girls. I didn't I can't look at people. I can't be bothered with people who hate disability. Um, I can't be bothered with that. You know, gee, I'm sorry if it makes you uncomfortable to look at Lisa's leg or my leg, but is that our problem or is that your problem? It's okay. We're good with it. You know, it's okay. Um, it's funny because can't I have heard when I ask people that are supposed to love me, get in the swimming pool, help me do this. And you know what I've heard, people who really, uh, I can't, I can't, um, I can't bear to see a purple leg. I can't. Oh, you can't bear. Well, you know what? If it causes a healthy person pain to see our purple legs, right? If it, whose fault is that? Is it your fault because you've got a purple leg, Or is it their fault because it's like, wait a minute, you can't deal with my disabilities. You can't deal with that. I should have been aborted. So you're saying that being around me is too painful. You know what? I can't be responsible for this mean girl at the gym who's walking around. Is she mean because I'll tell you what. There's a lot of people that say, "Oh, she's just a bitch." Oh, could you imagine being caught in her ear, between her ears? She will actually walk by me. I smile and love on everybody. She'll walk by me, right by me, and she'll turn her head. She'll she talks on the man, but she'll turn her head. And that's her problem. I have to laugh. I have to laugh. The thing that naturally bothers me is I am quite convinced that if she knew me, she'd like me, right? I'm convinced. Why? Because I'm likable. I know who I am. And every single person should feel special when they're around me. You know, but she'll walk up, look, and she'll nasty. I've known her. She's been trying to avoid me for 15 years at the gym. And it's funny. It's fun. She got more problems than I do. I go to the gym and work with people. You know that bookmarker that I have, the bookmarker that of my rules that I carry them around nonstop. And I yesterday, listen to this. I talked to a gentleman uh, and I wanted to give him a bookmark, and then sitting at the pool table was another gentleman who I just heard some nasty gossip, and somebody said, "Do you know that guy?" I said, "Yeah, I'll see him at the pool." Well, he liked to go in the jacuzzi. He sat there at that table where I was given the bookmark, and something told me give him a bookmark. And I sat down with him, and I talked a little bit with him, and he read the back of the bookmark because I said it's very important you know that these bookmarks I made for me. They're my rules because I'm a bad girl. And one of the rules is just for today, I'll get out of bed. I will be presentable. Smoke and mirrors. I will dress for the show of the day. I'll dress like it's a blessing, right? So I'm looking at this guy and he's looking at all of these rules that I made for myself. And I said, take what you like, leave the rest, throw it out, or hand it to somebody. He says, my wife needs that. Last May, he went to his 24-year-old son took a heroin pill that was filled with fentanyl and died. And for the past since last May, every day this guy's wife gets up and goes to the graveyard and sits there with her dead son. I couldn't even imagine the hate that you would have towards this fentanyl. That it just it's so much. But to be released, right? To be released from the obligation of hating somebody. You hate things you can't control. That I know that is. But when you release the responsibility of control, if you tell people, all right, I understand that you have every right to be angry. Everyone watching this right now, we all have the right to be angry. I mean, Lisa is she's a mother, a grandmother, and her daughter's taking care of her, and she's not getting worse. And I don't have kids or anything, and I'm thinking, but it's not about me. Just get out, show up. So I'm talking. All right, let me not lose my train of thought. So I'm talking about Lisa. I superseded uh, um, what is affecting me physically. It's not a characteristic problem. It's not a character problem. This guy, even though I heard him bashed, and all of a sudden I'm talking to him, and my heart's breaking. My heart, because so I gave him a bookmark. I gave one for his wife, one for his daughter, and one for his. I just gave him a couple of these. He says, "Oh, my wife needs this." It's amazing. It's like my wife needs this. I need this. And so much of that bookmark is being kind to yourself. We have to be kind to ourselves, because if we're not kind to ourselves, we'll sit in that bed, right? We'll sit in that bed and we'll say, it's too cold to get out. I don't want to do the smoke and mirrors. I don't want to show up. I don't want to put on. I don't want to do anybody anymore. Yeah, well, take a half a Ritalin or a Provigil or Nuvigil or any of that speed medication. Do it, and do something even if it's wrong. No, it won't be wrong. Just get out and love on other people. Get outside of your body. I look at just the people that are suffering. So I go in. I'm wearing my bathing suit, but I don't have my neoprene to do my laps. So I'm walking towards the back of the gym because my mom is there and she's stretching out, and I know everybody at the gym. In fact, everybody. No, let me correct that. Everybody at the gym knows me. Um, I've got a memory like a duck. Unless I see you in the same chair in the same spot and I use your name every day, I know more of your names. I know where you're from. There's certain things. So I'm walking back to say hi to mom, and a gal stops me. A gal that obviously she looked at me, and I said, "What's wrong?" Because I could see like Pigpen from Peanuts. I could see trouble all around her, and she says, "I need a hug. I need a." I said, "Oh my gosh, it's great because I need one too." So she came up and I held her and I said, "What's going on with you?" And she said, "I've been diagnosed with ALS." Jesus, is there anything you can do to? And the Christ in me realizes wants to help her so much more. I mean, gosh, wouldn't getting out of bed. Uh, that's a reason. It's a reason for getting bed. It's above my physical ailments. To see this young, yeah, she's not that young. She's probably 58, 59, around probably 58, I would say. And uh, you know, I don't. I don't know. There's a number of questions now. All of a sudden, I'm thinking I'd like to ask her, but I don't know. So, all right, got to do the tens unit. Great thing about the tens unit is that if you put it on your foot, if you put these electrodes in specific muscles and you turn on the machine, you turn it on and you set it, which our Lauren can tell. All of a sudden, and you think whenever the electric goes around, and it's a little shocking because your toes lift up and your ankle lifts up, and you think about it. You think about it, and then you turn it off, and then you drop it down, and you think about that. That is programming nerves that the spine doesn't want to use. So I think everybody with MS should. It is like a walk aid. But the thing is that walk aid, in fact, TENS units can be used for like a walk aid. Guess what? It's true. You don't need a walk aid. You just get a TENS unit, right? And I can put this on my anterior tibialis. That's the outside of my shin bone. I can put that on the outside, on the top of my foot, and I can set up a mild contraction where I could walk and it'll lift my. You don't need a walk aid. Get a TENS unit, right? I don't know. So, there are ways. All right. So if we get a TENS unit, we get a hip flexor assisted device. We get colloidal silver that we can spray on our face. You know, before I used to be so fastidious at washing my face. I gotta get the makeup off and it's a hassle, but I'm gonna wash my face anyway, whether it has makeup or not. So why not put on makeup? You know, the smoke and mirrors, the makeup. Why does it have to be a hassle? Why can't it be part of the process? Why not sit there and look at your face as a palette that God gave you and accentuate? See this here? Bright, bright, you know, it's all smoke and mirrors to be a diva. All smoke and mirrors. And so, but we all need to put our best foot forward. If we can wear something nice, put something on our face, be presentable when we walk out, all right, if we can do that, then all of a sudden it's less of me, more of you. We get to talk to other people and their reality, their movie, their reality becomes our existence, right? It's not that, and I got to work on this because my tongue is an evil thing, right? I only get in trouble when I talk. I don't know. So you go there and you let God bring up people and you. I practice on asking questions, and I always say, always, I'm talking too much. I'm talking too much. So I'm asking God, grab my tongue, because people, you know what? People will come to you and they have so many stories, so much suffering going on in the world, uh, so much, so much, and it's it's the world has been given a chronic disease, right? So what we need to do is be either part of the problem or part of the solution. Part of the solution is making boundaries for ourselves, what we will let ourselves get away with. What is the goal? What is when do you want to achieve the goal? When is it due by? Right? When is your goal due by? See, if you have that and you take care of the basics, then you can walk out and talk to people and ask them about their world, right? Well, I put on the TV. I don't watch TV hardly at all anymore. Because I really don't. I've been watching. I need to watch things that I love. Everything. It's true, but you know what? Christ has overcome the world. Well, but we sheep suffer from uniqueness. We actually think we're unique. We're unique, and I know that there is a 92-year-old woman that I was so much friends with, and she is now the wall of sound. She's an amazing person, but she's a wall of sound. We used to meet at the gym back when she was 80 and interact. It was an interacting, but she's gotten so old that all she does is talk at you. And does that mean she should be executed? She should get a character flaw, or does that mean I need to shut up and listen to her wall of sound? Just let her, people like to talk. And when you push a walker into a place like a gym and they say, oh, you inspire me, or that kind of thing, when they do that, it is paramount because we live MS, we live pain, we live don't yeah we live people walk up to you and they'll say, in fact, I was at CBS yesterday. A woman walked up, I'm pushing my walker out, and she walked out and she says, I feel your pain. I've had both my ankles artificial. They're artificial, they were both replaced. So she's walking by and she says, I feel your pain. And I hear them, and I feel your pain. I've had my both ankles replaced. I feel your pain. I'm gonna leave that out. I feel your pain. You know, I read a funny thing. Funny, it was a funny thing. It's like never tell a woman to calm down or relax. Don't do it because that's not going to work for you. So when I go out, I see Marge, and before we did this interaction, it was give or take, and that was this conversation. She had done so much to help me with advice, and so it was so great. But now she talks about stupid stuff. And she says the same thing over and over again, right? Is she the idiot or am I the idiot? Because I require her to communicate like I used to. I don't communicate. The harder it is for me to communicate, the more I use my hand. You'll. So what do we have to do? Put on our game. This is game face, game outfit. Go to the gym because I can wear my long sleeve T-shirt, take off my sweater, and work out. And listen to Marge come to me and be a wall of sound, and just every once in a while lob it back, ask her clarifying questions. Love what she is. Not, it's not like an interactive movie. Very few people you talk to are they want to give you their movie. They don't want to interact. Otherwise, they'd ask your opinion. And if most people ask your opinion are only, I, I hate to, it's going to show callousness. They're only asking your opinion so that they can talk more, expand more. Or it's like, oh, and you start to answer them. And they're like, you didn't realize when I asked you your opinion, it was rhetorical. And it's the right thing to do. So go out, get dressed up, let God lead you to the people who lost their 24-year-old sons to overdose. Uh, just to people who are fighting with the loss of a parent, of a child. People who now haven't know what's going to kill them. They was just diagnosed with metastatic breast cancer or Lou Gehrig's disease. Just and it's just bizarre how I go in and there's these beautiful people and they come to me and they're like, "Can you help me?" And what do I hear? I hear from so many people, "You got enough on your plate." You know what? I don't have enough on my plate that can't be dropped for the comfort of just one person, one other person. Let's see. PBS, yeah, it's and Vanessa says it's so true. The worse you feel, the better you should look. Uh, Fake it till you make it, and it's true. It's you know. You know what I used to do? This is 15 years ago. Look at some of my videos. What I used to do is if I wasn't feeling well, I'd have a fancy hat. The fancier the hat, the worse I felt. My skank days, days of shower, of every other day, I like to get in the shower, right? Every other day, but my shower days, uh, in the morning, it's a fancy hat, it's bright red lipstick, it's smoke and mirrors. People look at me and they're like, "Oh my God, you're like a diva." You know what? I am a diva in attitude, right? And I need everybody's watching to not to get rid of the fleece unless it's underclothing. Uh, Pull out your favorite shirts or this is a beautiful sweater. Wear it over your get out, right? Get out and be presentable so that you can be there when God sends you people. Oh my God! Yesterday, this just yesterday. Yesterday, uh, a 58-year-old with Lou Gehrig's disease, desperate, just desperate. And she's looking at me like a life jacket. I'm look, I'm in my bathing suit with I've incorporated wearing little skirts because I may be thin, but I'm lumpy. But so I'm in the gym wearing my bathing suit, just saying to my mom, "I'm here. I love you. I'm going to go swim." And this other gal, she saw me before, and she says, "I need a hug." So you know what? I don't care how disabled. I don't care how we are struggling. If we put on a face, if we present ourselves like we're going to war and we go out, I know everybody with MS likes MS warriors, but we're not MS warriors. We are our brothers keepers. Get out and offer. Just listen. Sometimes it's good to hold someone's hand and cry with them, or just say, ah. And like I said to the guy who was his name's Paul, he was sitting at the telling me about the death of his son and how it's ruined his family. And I look at him and I said, I am so sorry. What can you say to that? Most people run, right? It's like Mean Girl. Well, she can't handle that, right? She can't handle me walking with a walker, having a happy smile on my face. It is, you know, let's go out and let God make us part of the solution, not the problem. Part of the problem. Let's not bitch anymore. Let's take a Ritalin. Let's look for solutions. I love you all. Um, and let's see if I can follow through on some great ideas I have. Vanessa's, all right. I don't understand that. That's tight, Beyonce. Uh, you know what? It's great, Vanessa. I'll let you know that when I lived, this is going on too long. I know it's tough to yell. When I lived in Southern California, uh, my golden retriever did something like a therapy thing, and the teenager at the time looked at him and told the other kids, "That dog is tight." He says, "That dog's tight." I look at the kid who said that, and I said, "Ew, how do you know? What is that word?" I don't get tight. That's tight. You're telling me my dog's tight? What are you saying? And they all started laughing at the teenager. And so every opportunity out there is something to laugh, unless it's like, let's laugh together. Let's find something to laugh at. Anyway, thank you for watching. Thank you for being part of this. And until we meet again on Thursday, uh, I wish you well. Goodbye. Thank you, Jesus, for enabling us. Help us to just smoke and mirrors. Help us to be there for people who need us, that are dealing with something so much harder than they can deal with. Lord, allow us to be instrument of thy peace, and to share, to carry our brothers and sisters that can't do it on their own. In Jesus' name, I give thanks. Go to msfrontiers.com, and I will see you on Thursday. Bye.